What's up, guys? It's your girl Arsharae, and I'm back with another video. Marriage Bootcamp episode 7, Breaking Bad. So basically, this was an emotional episode, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I was already having like, I know I told y'all last week I had a long week, so I was already having like an emotional week last week, an emotional week this week, and then this video was just like a lot too. And well, not video, this episode was like a lot too, and I was like, oh my gosh. So this was an emotional episode, but before we get to that, let's talk about before we get to the emotional part of this episode, let's get to the what happened before. So basically, they're still talking. Lamo and Carl and the doctors are still talking, and they are talking about the whole FaceTime situation, which at this point I'm like, okay, this episode 3, like we should be over it. Like, we done talking about it. He did it. He cheated. And she gets mad, but it looks like she gonna forgive him anyway, so let's move on. So they basically told her, like, you know, and then he tried to actually like try to get up and talk to Ish face, and I'm just like, I think I said that before, but I'm just like, you gotta, when you do things, you have to take responsibility for the things that you do. You can't just like try to be like, you can't get mad for the things that you did and then try to attack other people. Like, it doesn't work like that. So she basically, you know, went off on him, and then he stormed out, and then they brought her the pictures. I don't know why they didn't show her video, but they showed her pictures of him FaceTiming the other woman or whatever, and she was saying that she didn't know the person. And then she went out and she basically told everybody else in the house what was going on and what happened or whatever. And I'm just like, I mean, I don't know if I would have shared. Like, me personally, I know they're on here to fix their relationships or whatever, but I just feel like sometimes you can't have everybody in your relationship or everybody in your business. Yes, it helps to talk sometimes, but you know, sometimes when you get so many outside opinions about something, like, you know, it starts to cloud your judgment about your relationship. So when it all boils down, when it's the end of it, he goes sleeps downstairs with Soulja Boy, because you know Soulja Boy that was his punishment, that he had to sleep downstairs. He couldn't sleep in the bed with Nia. So he went downstairs. He left her upstairs by himself. Soulja Boy was telling him how how hard his life is, and how he was talking to Nia, and how Nia said that she don't really want to be with him, she just want to be friends. And he was like, well, if we can't be together, then we can't be friends either, which I just think that's a whole bunch of BS. Like, if you are mature enough and you're acting like an adult, then yes, it's possible for you to be friends with an ex if it's strictly platonic. Like, neither one of you have any romantic feelings and you are mature about it, you can have a friendship. So then the doctors told them that they were going to delve into childhood memories. This is when everything, like, oh wait, no, I'm sorry, let me go back, I skipped a part. All right, so basically Lamo she went and got him. Like, he was downstairs. She went and got Carl. He was downstairs sleeping with Soulja Boy. And she goes and she's like, you just gonna leave me in the bed by myself? And she made him come up to the room with her. Me personally, I would have left him down there, honestly. I don't think I would have went and got him. I think I would have just left him where he was at and let him sleep down there for the night. And then they get upstairs, and then they started arguing, and they went outside, and it sounded like it got kind of physical. Like, maybe somebody hit somebody. I don't know, because, like, you know, like I said, it was off camera, so you can't really see. But when they did come back in, because she was like, stop pushing me. So, and then he tried to close the door on her, And then that's when she like kind of pushed him out the way. And then they put the cover up over the camera or whatever, so you couldn't really see what was going on. And she was like, I'm just asking for clarification. And he wouldn't talk to her. Like, he wouldn't give her the answers that she was looking for. So that's basically like, that's your answers right there. When you asking a person for answers and they not giving them to you, like, they pretty much, by them not answering your questions, they pretty much answering your questions. They just basically telling you you might not want to hear what they have to say. So then, like, out of all this, she was like, I just want you to talk to me so I can know how to fight and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, girl. And then she kisses him. And I'm like, and she forgave him. I'm like, that was quick. And you crazy as hell. Because I don't think I would have forgiven him. And it's like, that's why he does the things that he does, because he knows she ain't going nowhere. He knows she don't want a divorce. So he pretty much can do whatever he wants to do. And then he knows she gonna forgive him. So that situation just, it's a lost cause. She gonna stay with him. She ain't gonna leave him. It is what it is. It's sad, but it is what it is. Sometimes, you know, if you don't have enough self-confidence or, you know, self-esteem or whatever to get over a person mistreating you or to move on from a person mistreating you, then this is the result of that. So then the doctors tell them that they're going to delve into their childhoods, and Tiffany immediately started crying, and that let me know from jump that her childhood was like probably like not good at all. And she said like her whole childhood was nothing but bad memories, so she don't really want to talk about it. So the doctors tell them that they're going to split up into groups. In the assignment that they split them 5 and 5, and of course no couples are in the same group. And they split them 5 and 5. Half went with Dr. Ish, half went with Dr. Venus, and they basically told them to like they gave them spray paint, and they told them to paint the walls with 3 things from their childhood. And I think it was 2 good memories and a bad memory, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Oh, I'm wrong. It was 1 positive memory and 2 negative memories that from their childhood. So basically they did that, and the doctors asked them about, you know, what they put on their walls. Neil revealed that at a young age she was raped. Soldier revealed that as he was talking, he basically said his mom and his dad split up, and he had to choose who he wanted to be with. And of course most boys choose their dads, and after that he didn't see his mom anymore. So he basically lost his mom because he chose to live with his dad. Like, basically everyone talked about losing somebody or some type of hurt or pain, you know, in their childhood. And then Tiffany talked about how all her relationships, like, except one, she was beat or abused. And then like, for me, she got that from seeing her mom being in abusive relationships, because she was saying like her mom was in such an abusive relationship, and she saw her mom get beat so much, and then that the guy like basically threw her and her mom out of a moving car. And he just basically was like, you know, I'm gonna kill both of y'all at the same time, pretty much. Because who would throw a child, a human being, period, but especially a child, out of a moving car? Like, that's insane. And then after the exercise, what I thought was really sad and alarming was Walker. He was in the confessional, and he was like, you know, I'm 32, and that's a shock to me, because I didn't think I would live to see 30. Like, he expected to die young, and I just think that's so crazy. Like, who expects to die young? Like, most people want to grow old and, you know, have a family and kids, but when you grow up in certain environments and you kind of become a product of your environment, then he was saying like he didn't expect to get older. And like in this episode, like, it really made everybody open up. It really made everybody start talking more and be more emotional, and it was just like a really heavy, kind of heavy episode. It was not really nobody joking around or anything, because it was really heavy. So then so then they called them back out after a while, and then they had a makeshift playground. They had a makeshift playground, and they had kids playing on the playground, and then they asked the kids, they asked the adults, like, what they thought about the playground or whatever. And then this little girl came out, and she started telling Tiffany's story of what Tiffany had said earlier. And Tiffany immediately started crying. And then this little boy came out and told Drew's story. And Drew was basically, his story is basically like, his career, his goal was, his dream was to play basketball. And he said he had to give up his dream, basically give up his dream for B2K. And B2K fell apart. And then he lost his dream in the process. And he's saying, like, he has to do something that he really doesn't like, which is the singing, for something that he loved, that he had to give up because he got a record deal. And I think that's kind of sad. Like, you didn't pursue something like that's really your dream, but you did it for other people, to make other people happy. And he was like, he has to keep doing it so he can provide for his family, something that he doesn't really want to do. So basically, like, I'm not gonna go through all of the kids and what they said, but the kids basically came out and told the person who they were portraying, they told their stories. And it was not, just to say, it was not a dry eye out there. Like, everybody was crying, and it was just very emotional. And so the doctors asked the couples, what advice would you give these kids if you were them? What advice would you give them? And they basically, told them that, you're gonna be strong, you can survive this. Or if the ones that didn't you can tell somebody, they'll protect you. And they did just basically tell them, like, what they wish someone would have told them when they were younger. One thing, like, Tammy's the little girl that portrayed Tammy, when she came out, she was like, she had Tammy's spot on. Like, she had her aggressiveness, her demeanor, and like, them seeing themselves in the kids, like, really manifested how they felt as children, how their childhood went. And Walker was like, I really understand you more now, what you went through in your childhood, from seeing the little girl portray Tammy. And then the little girl who portrayed Lamo just was like, her dad was her superhero, so she didn't want to tell that she was being sexually abused, because if she did, her dad would have hurt the other person, and then he would have went to jail. So she felt like she couldn't tell, because she was trying to protect her dad, because she didn't want him to go to jail for hurting the person that was hurting her. So all in all, like, everybody had some jacked up past, and that kind of, like, shaped them into the adults that they are today. Like, we all have our issues, we all go through things, and it's sad and it's sickening that, that our kids aren't protected more. And I just feel like people should be more, more cognitive, or pay more attention to their children, because these children that are getting hurt as children, and then they don't receive the help that they need, they become adults. They become adults that are still hurt little kids, basically, that they haven't gotten over the hurt from their childhood. And then it's sad, because these kids, they don't get to live childhood. But that's another, that's a totally different video, because I don't want to get off topic here. But yeah, basically everybody's childhood was like jacked up, and they've seen a lot of adversities, a lot of crime, a lot of abuse, and not dealing with that abuse made them the adults that they are today. And people can pretend to be okay, but they're not really okay. And until you've dealt with the pain from your childhood, you can't really be okay. That's basically what this episode was about, pretty much. Very emotional. I know I keep saying that, but it was very emotional. You know, I mean, I cried with them. Especially when the little girl that portrayed Tiffany, when she came out and she was telling her story. I cried with Tiffany. Like, I really did. So yeah, that's basically, oh no, wait. And then Nia went upstairs. She tried to talk to Soulja Boy. He was already in bed. And she asked him, was he okay? And he said no. And she asked him, did he want to talk about it? And he said no. So she went and got in her little bed, you know, the one I talked about in the first episode, where she had her little nest or whatever. And then he was like, why you over there or whatever? And she was like, you know, you didn't want to talk to me before, so don't talk to me now. And then they got into an argument, and she was just like, leave me alone. And I'm like, dude, y'all yelling and it's late and other people in the house sleep or whatever. But they got into it, and he jumped up, and I don't know what happened, because of course they cut the camera. So maybe they'll show us what happened next episode or whatever. But I know they was waking people up, because I saw it, like they were showing like how other people in the house was waking up, like they were that loud. But yeah, that's it for this episode. Marriage Bootcamp episode 7. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and share with a friend. I know this review wasn't as entertaining, but it wasn't really anything to laugh about, joke about. This was a serious episode, and it was very emotional. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Love you guys. Bye.